Yo, 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 what up, guys? I hope you guys can hear me. I just got this brand new microphone. I realized that I needed to kind of improve my audio. And so here we go. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. Hope we're sounding good, guys. I hope the audio is improved for you. Now we have a mic. We have a nice camera. Everything's working out properly, I think, the way it's supposed to. So, got some great news stories today that I found on the interwebs that we can all talk about today out there in the wild, wild west. And the first article I wanted to talk about because this one really resonates really deeply to my heart and soul is this article right here. Twitter has confirmed that shadow banning is real. And the bottom line is not only is shadow banning real on Twitter, but we all know that it's real everywhere else too. It's on Instagram, it's on YouTube. I know my account has been shadow banned on YouTube, and I actually emailed YouTube a few months ago, and I just straight up asked them why am I shadow banned, and they wrote back to me. It was almost like a 3-page letter, basically explaining to me how I'm not shadow banned, how I'm kind of making it up in my own head, and how there's just a combination of metrics they use on the back end to determine, who gets seen and who doesn't or whatever. And I think that that's just nonsense. It's not something they're going to openly tell you that it exists. Thank God there's companies like Project Veritas out there that are doing the work for us. That are actually they have insiders that can find out the real information, and it has been confirmed that shadow banning is absolutely real. And I figured I'd play the clip for you guys. Now, for those of you who have worked in corporate careers before, there's this platform they use called Slack, which is basically like their internal messaging software. And I freaking hate Slack. I hate Salesforce. I hate all those platforms because the one thing I always was terrible at when I used to work was administrative work. I'm horrible at administrative work, and I just hated Slack. Like you got to keep everyone updated, and you have like these chat rooms. I don't know, just really annoying. It just feel like people are just like trying too hard. But here it is, guys, from Project Veritas. So, in case you missed it, someone is saying in the feed, "Can we actually shadow ban people?" Okay. So they're scrolling down. Someone said, "Laughing my ass off," but we don't actually do this, right? Someone else said, "I haven't looked into this. I haven't looked into what the determined shadow banning is, but the short answer is yes, we can reduce visibility on surfaces." There we go. So there we go, guys. Shadow banning is confirmed on Twitter. And for those of you who follow Tim Pool, you would have seen his video earlier today, his investigative journalism, where a number of conservative or right wing thinkers have reported massive growth on Twitter. As of yesterday, some people are gaining like 60, 70,000 subscribers in one day. And we're seeing a lot of lefties or leftoids, as Liberal Hive Mind calls them, losing subscribers. Really interesting. But what Tim Pool points out is the most interesting is the day that it happened. It didn't happen when Elon announced he was going to buy Twitter. It didn't happen the day that Elon actually purchased Twitter and it went through. It happened sometime in the middle of the day yesterday. And the reason why he says that's interesting is because it seems like somebody on the back end has been scrambling to maybe hide some evidence allegedly of the shadow banning or of the censorship. And he basically, his theory is that it comes down to the Hunter Biden story. Those who shared the Hunter Biden story, linked to it, retweeted it, were more likely to suffer the shadow ban that was never lifted after the 2020 election. I mean, that single story again alone had such an impact on on the data. I mean, on the results, and that's not a conspiracy theory. This has been proven by polling data. 10% of people said if they thought the Hunter Biden laptop was a real story, they would not have voted for Joe Biden. So it's a real. It had real ramifications, and again, I think that lawyer needs to be grilled big time I think she needs to be held accountable for what she did to the country. Because again, if you have this much power as a publisher, as a platform, that you can alter the content and you can moderate stories that are unfavorable to your political party, then you need to be held accountable. That's just the reality. That's the bottom line. And I looked at some Vox donation data from Instagram, and it turns out that 98% of people that work at Twitter, more than 98%, have donated to. Let me rephrase that. Of all the donations made to political parties, 98% were for blue parties. Only 2% of Twitter employees apparently donated to right wing or conservative organizations. So everything Twitter does is with an extreme liberal slant. Extreme liberal slant. Now, hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing, guys? I see Thomas Phone out there in the chat room. I see Susan Knox, Ellen, Noah, Devon. I see a lot of the OGs. Um, so about my I was getting messages from a lot of people that worked in the advertising industry. I'm not going to give any names because I don't dox people on my channel. I'm not Taylor Lorenz, but I remember I was getting so many messages from people back in 2020 that worked in the advertising industry that basically thanked me for stepping up and speaking out because they too were Trump supporters, but unfortunately they worked at a company where they could not speak up or be loud and proud about it. So they were forced to kind of sit in meetings where coworkers and colleagues would insult Trump or bomb on Trump, and they would just have to sit there and take it. So the bottom line is there's more of us than we know out there. And, the people that are Trump supporters that work at these companies, I think that you got to take a bullet and take it for the team and step up and just, put it out there that you're a Trump supporter so that these liberals don't have as much confidence sharing their thoughts when they're in these, they got to think twice about it, make them hesitant just as they've made us hesitant for years. That's my opinion on that. All right, let's go back to some other news stories. Of course, the Democrats are not going to go down without a fight. And the one thing that the Democrats don't want is free speech. Free speech terrifies them because that means they will lose all control of their beautiful, precious narrative that they're holding on to and clinging so tightly, which is why they hate what happened with Elon Musk. So Biden has announced the creation of a disinformation governance board under the authority of Homeland Security with a lunatic in charge. That's some good opinionated writing over there. But apparently, they have this woman who has been very, very biased, especially against Mr. Donald Trump. I think her name is Nina Jankowicz. There we go. She's an anti-free speech crusader and a committed member of the radical left. She has even made her stance clear about crucial issues like the censorship of the Hunter Biden laptop. I can't read the next point. Unsurprisingly, she has publicly slandered. Okay, I can't really read any more of that article right now, but you guys get where I'm going at. She is definitely not on the right side, and to make things worse, she's not even moderate. She is just a straight up lefty. So this should be interesting. Here she is. Apparently, she's in like a band called the Moaning Myrtles. I'm actually going to Myrtle Beach soon for the Reawaken America tour with Clay Clark. And I'll be giving a backstage press pass. So that means I'm going to be able to interview all the different speakers that day. And I do believe Mr. Eric Trump or one of the Trumps will be there, which is really exciting. Hopefully I can meet them. I don't know if they'll sit down with us. Maybe not. Maybe they will. But other speakers definitely will. So I'm pumped for that. That's really exciting times. Okay, here is more Marxism from Joe Biden, who tells teachers they're not somebody else's children, they're yours when you're in the classroom. And we got receipts here. Let's go watch the video.
Public in the world. Have our students gain confidence enough to know what they can do, to reach in. We have an obligation. We have an obligation to help them teach and reach their potential. You've heard me say it many times about our children, but it's true. They're all our children. And the reason you're the teachers of the year is because you recognize that. They're not somebody else's children. They're like yours when they're in the classroom. You represent a profession that helps them gain the confidence.
So they're coming after us, our kids. I mean, we've known this for a long time now, but we're just seeing this in broad daylight. I mean, just like robberies in America now are happening in broad daylight, like in San Francisco. They don't even try to stop the robbers anymore. We're seeing the same thing happening in the classrooms. They're coming after our kids in broad daylight, and it's just pretty disturbing stuff out here. All right, this is interesting. Fauci says that the U.S. is out of the pandemic phase. We got the video of this, so here we go. Here's Dr. Fauci.
Fauci, let me broaden this out and ask you. Here we are. It's the end of April. It's the spring of 2022. How close are we to the end of this pandemic?
Well, that's an unanswerable question for the following reason. And I don't want to be evasive about it, but let me tell you why I'm giving you that answer, Judy. We are certainly right now in this country out of the pandemic phase. Namely, we don't have 900,000 new infections a day and tens and tens and tens of thousands of hospitalizations and thousands of deaths. We are at a low level right now. So if you're saying, are we out of the pandemic phase in this country? We are. What we hope to do, I don't believe, and I've spoken about this widely, we're not going to eradicate this virus. If we can keep that level very low and intermittently vaccinate people, and I don't know how often that would have to be, Judy, that might be every year, that might be longer, in order to keep that level low. But right now, we are not in the pandemic phase in this country. Pandemic means a widespread throughout the world infection that spreads rapidly among people. So if you look at the global situation, there's no doubt this pandemic is still ongoing.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, thank you.
So Dr. Fauci, our Lord and Savior, says that we are out of the pandemic phase. And then here comes Psaki, who says COVID isn't over and the pandemic isn't over, completely contradicting Dr. Fauci. And it's kind of crazy. Like, you would think that these people would have some kind of like joint messaging, and far from it. So let's hear what Jen Psaki has to say.
So there's no question that we're in a different moment in our fight against COVID. But we also know COVID isn't over and the pandemic isn't over.
So I don't know what to think, guys. Are we out of the pandemic phase, or the pandemic isn't over? Because you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. I'll tell you this much, though. Down here in Florida, I'm seeing much fewer masks, and boy, is it awesome to see. I still will see masks every now and then, and I want to call those people out, but at this point, I really don't care. It's like, you know what? If they want to wear that forever, the rest of their lives, they can do that. I just don't know why you'd want to. But hey, if it makes you happy, you do what's best for you. It's your body, your choice. It really doesn't affect me. Visually, it affects me. Visually, I have to look at it, and it annoys me. But if that's what you feel like you need to do to stay safe, then you know what? You do what you got to do. And that's what we're all about here, is my body, my choice. All right, so let's talk about some favorite topics of ours here on the channel, which is gas prices. Gas prices are back above $4 here in Florida. We had a little bit of relief a couple weeks ago. It was below $4 down here in Florida. I was very excited when I saw it was at like $3.69. I was like, first of all, I was excited to see the number 69 because that number makes me very excited. But secondly, when I saw it was below 4, I was like, damn, I better fill up my tank. But now today, I think we're back at to like 420, something like that. I know Elon Musk likes that number. So apparently in liberal cesspool, California, they want to raise the state's gas tax to 53.6 cents per gallon this summer. I believe California already has the second highest tax rate in the country, only second to New York. And you know what's crazy? When I lived in New York, I remember I moved to LA, and then my accountant swapped out all my paperwork for California, and my tax return jumped up like 10 grand just because he changed the address on my paperwork. So I saved 10 grand in taxes just by switching from New York to LA. I was like, holy shit. So now that I'm in Florida, unfortunately, I don't have enough income where it makes a difference. But if I had that income and I was living in Florida right now, I'd save even more money. It's crazy. So Yeah, I mean, this is just crazy that they're going to be raising taxes even more than it already is. So, California, I think you're at like $6 right now. Looks like you're going to be hitting $7 or $8 soon. So, if you're in California, you have to drive in that city, and a lot of people have long drives. Like here in Florida, I feel like our drives are shorter. So you get shorter drives, and you probably get better traffic, and we have cheaper gas. So if I had to choose between cesspool liberal California versus New York versus Florida, I am choosing Florida all day. And guys, I'm gonna pull some comments in as I go through. I don't want to fall behind like I did yesterday. Let's see. Blazed Bob says he's in upstate New York. He'll never go to Long Island, only for travel. Pete Farr says the vaccines are safe and effective. That is true, guys. If you, want to learn about the vaccines, just go to fda.gov, who.cdc, int.gov, I think. It doesn't matter. The point is, go to one of those trusted websites because they are the authoritative figures, and you should always listen to them. And whatever Fauci says, you should always do. Kamala now has COVID for the 5th time, fully jabbed and fully boosted. The reality is we don't know who's boosted and who's not. But yes, Kamala Harris has been vaccinated and boosted. We know that. Another person I don't consider is is Chucky. You're talking about the beautiful Jen Psaki. Let's see what else we got. 2 year Pete Farr, 2 years, still never got COVID, not juiced, and not a single booster. You might have had COVID. You just might not know. Uh-oh. Settings. My camera died. That sucks. Hey guys, sorry about that. My freaking camera died. Sometimes it overheats. Yeah, it's overheated. So now we're back on the laptop on the MacBook, which as you can tell, this camera is garbage compared to the other one. But at least we got good audio still. Hey, what's going on, Golden Goddess? Oh, you are a golden. If that's what you look like, if that's the cartoon version of you, then you are a chica guapa. And I would love if you could slide into my direct messages, my DMs, as the kids call it. All right, here I am, guys, flirting with the cartoon goddess. Oh, God, this is my life has become flirting with cartoon goddesses. All right, let's continue going down the news story that we have that I pulled up for you guys today. Got a few articles pulled up. So yeah, we talked about this earlier. Biden sets up the Toothless Disinformation Governance Board to combat midterm fake news headed by Russia's expert who called Hunter Biden's laptop a Trump campaign product and spoke out against free speech. There she is, guys. Nina Jankowicz, a Russian disinformation expert. Yeah, that's the move they do. Anything they don't like, they just slap that good old disinformation sticker on top of it. Keep taking those cherry pills, bro. William Maximus, I don't know what's going on my foot, man. I was put on the colchicines, whatever it's called, and I was put on the allopurinol, and I started seeing improvement. Started seeing the definition in my left foot again. The swelling was going away. So 2 days ago, I was feeling really confident. I was walking around the gym. Legs were feeling good. I decided to give it a shot with the leg day. Now, I have not done a leg day in a month. And I could just tell you right now, my legs, which are already skinny and underworked, atrophied even further because I have not walked more than 5,000 steps in a day in a month. And no running, no weights, nothing. It's just like I'm way top heavy again because I could do my upper body, wasn't working on my lower body. So I was in the gym, just grabbed a pair of 15-pound dumbbells. That's super light. 15-pound dumbbells. I did some squats, hold high. They're called high squats. I did some high squats. And then I did some Russian deadlifts, RDLs as we call them. I did some leg extensions on the hammies. I did some quad work. I did those abductor and adductor machines. Again, nothing too crazy because I'm trying to get back into it. My legs usually don't get sore for about 48 hours. It's called delayed onset muscle soreness. I was sore within 10 hours, and within 15, 16 hours, I could not walk. And even today, it's been almost 48 hours of just absolute utter soreness. I can barely walk. My legs are in so much fucking pain. And my gout foot is now re-swollen again. And it's not from food. I think I might have irritated or just put too much pressure on the joint, and it's just not ready yet. So I'm going to be another probably 2 weeks, no chance of cardio. And it's really frustrating because, again, I was starting to get a six pack a month ago. I was seeing ab definition. I was so fucking pumped. And now I'm losing it. What is it like? It's just like a swollen big toe joint. And the pain is like, it's like somebody took a sledgehammer and just banged it and then took a lighter and just like lit your toe on fire and then put needles into your foot. It is without question the most painful thing that I've experienced in my entire life. Okay. Luckily, I haven't had too many injuries, knock on wood, but at the end of the day, like gout, if you know anyone that has it, it's debilitating. And I went online. Turns out I'm eligible for a handicap placard if I wanted one because they say if you can't walk, I think like 200 yards without assistance, or you can't walk, it's only 200 feet. I forgot the rules, and then you're eligible for a handicap placard. When I have gout and I'm in the middle of my flare up, all right, there was the one day, the second day of my attack, where my foot is in so much pain, and I'm talking your entire body is throbbing. Okay, you're just in pain. I had to get on all four knees, all four hands and knees, and I had to crawl my ass to the bathroom on my ass cheeks. I had to crawl to the bathroom. I couldn't even walk to the bathroom. And then when even crawling was painful because any movement was just causing me so much pain, I ended up just getting a fucking bucket. And then I would just get in my bed. I would just piss in the bucket. It was disgusting. I literally felt like this just handicapped person, and it was horrible. So I feel bad for people that like are more permanently handicapped, long term. I mean, gout flare ups usually only last, 2 to 6 weeks at most. But I got a picture of me in Belize. I was in Belize last year, and it was my second time getting elbow gout. Elbow gout. Holy shit. And I was in the middle of the jungle, middle of nowhere. So I could not go to a hospital or get any medication. I just had to deal with it with natural stuff. And here's a picture of my elbow gout. Look at that, guys. That is what elbow gout looks like. Hold on, let me fix that. That's elbow gout. It looks photoshopped. Look at that, guys. Oh God. So just imagine that on your big toe joint. Yeah, it's disgusting, bro. I there it is. There's my elbow with gout. It was like a fucking baseball in my elbow. It's crazy. It was like it gets super warm and inflamed, and you just want to pop it, but you just kind of can't. You got to ride it out, and your mobility is completely destroyed when you have a flare up. So I've had it in each elbow once so far. That was last year, my Belize gout attack. I've had very mild attacks, which the mild attacks are the weirdest ones because I remember this happened to me in Mexico a few times because I was getting a lot of shrimp tostadas on the street in Puerto Vallarta. But I would like have some shrimp tostadas, and then 36 hours later, I'd feel like I sprained my ankle, but I didn't sprain my ankle. So I'd be limping for like 36 hours, 2 days, but then I'd be fine. It never would blow up. It was just like a very mild gout attack. But now, when they come and they blow up, man, they seem to be getting worse, and and my sensitivity seems to be increasing to it. So I think we're beyond the tart cherry the tart cherry stage. I just need to just keep track of my diet, drink a lot of water. As young Dorito here says, I need to get a wife and probably get a life. Luckily for me, alcohol has never been a trigger, which I'm thankful for. I've never had a gout attack after drinking before. The only time I get gout attacks is from when I eat too much shrimp or any lobster. Any lobster, too much shrimp. That's really what I have to avoid. And also octopus too can trigger it for me, which is terrible. All right, let's get back to some news stories that I pulled up for you guys today. Elon Musk. This is about Truth Social. He bombed on Truth Social today, which I think is pretty funny. There's like a war happening. Let's see. Where we go. So okay, Elon said it should be called Trumpet. Excuse me, instead. And I do agree with that. Actually, I think that if Trump named his platform Trumpet, that would have been a much better name than Truth Social. I think Trumpet's cool because Trumpet's like an instrument where you get on, you play it, it makes noise, and it's like it's a trumpet. So I think that would have been genius. And Elon says Truth Social only exists because of Twitter censorship, and he's right. Should be called Trumpet instead. And right now, Truth Social is number one in the App Store, which is exciting. I don't know why that's happening right now, but that's great for Trump. That's great for the Truth Social freedom movement. And if you guys have not joined Truth Social yet, I highly recommend you sign up for it. And you guys can add me there, Adam Francisco on Truth Social. Young Dorito says, "You're a great looking guy." Thank you so much, Young Dorito. Hopefully, I will be able to find a young, great looking partner in the Philippines at some point next year, or maybe even this year if we're lucky. And I can inject my seed inside of her womb, and we can create great looking children. And then I can have a great looking family, and I could become a dad vlogger. And, that'll be really dope. So I appreciate that. Okay, let's keep going along this list. What else I got for you? Let's talk about COVID again. It's always a fun topic, but we got to be careful on YouTube what we talk about because they will come after me hardcore. But let me just say this. For those of us who have had COVID and for those of us who had to isolate, it is really annoying because you have to spend like 7-10 days alone by yourself somewhere. Now, when I had COVID alpha the first time, I booked a hotel and I stayed there for I think 7 or 8 days, and I isolated myself. And then the cleaning lady or something came in, and I just said to the front desk, "Look, I would advise that nobody comes to my room because I'm currently quarantining from COVID." I told them that because I thought that they would be like, "Okay, we understand." Instead, they had the opposite reaction. They said, "Oh my God, you have COVID? We're not preparing for this. We don't have the proper ventilation. We need to remove you immediately. And now we need to alert every single guest in this whole building that there was a COVID positive patient here." So they threw me out of the hotel and made me get a new one. And then I realized maybe I should not tell the next hotel about it. So then I called the Florida Department of Health. I explained to them what happened. And they said to me, by law, every hotel has to accept a COVID positive patient. And they told me that hotels were the number one place for people to isolate from their families. And they said, it's not your problem if they don't have the proper ventilation. That's a them problem. They have to accept you and they can't discriminate you because of what was it? That no, not ADA, that's American Disability Act. The other one, whatever, the medical privacy thing. They said, you volunteered that information. You don't have to volunteer that, but even if you did, they still can't kick you out for that. They just should have isolated you or left you alone. So that was my experience the first time with Alpha. But let me tell you something. When you're a single dude like I am, it's definitely mentally draining to just be by yourself for 7 days in a row, locked up in a hotel room. It's pretty difficult. And Howie Mandel here, HIPAA. Thank you, William. Yes, it's called HIPAA. There we go. It's called HIPAA. Howie Mandel says he got incredibly depressed and neurotic after he was forced to isolate for 10 days when he contracted COVID, and he went insane. And he's absolutely right. It does make you go fucking insane. And there's really just not much you can do except, I don't know, maybe watch a lot of Spank Bang or something. I'm just kidding, guys. I know some of you are very anti-pornography. I personally am not anti-pornography. I'm pro-porn. But I understand that there's some negative things about it. I get it, and that's a debate that I want to have on my channel one day with somebody to kind of hear their pros and cons. But that's the one. I'm not a conservative, so I'm allowed to enjoy what I want to enjoy. I'm not as restricted as someone who claims to be a conservative, right? So Howie Mandel, he says that he had the virus and he felt that he won. Let me see. But I was with the virus, apparently, he said. Although they won, Howie said he felt as if he had lost by getting sick. I'm vaxxed and I'm boosted, so my symptoms weren't terrible. But knowing me, I would have rather taken the mental pain of me being locked in a room for 10 days, not going near anybody. I actually like Howie Mandel a lot. I think that he's a great guy from what I know about him. If he ever comes out into something stupid or racist, then I'm going to distance myself from this clip. All right, what else we got on my list? Can you guys see? Okay, cool. Republicans. Oh yeah, so the new one is now Joe Biden claims he wants to dismiss student loan, and this one really actually pisses me off because look, student loan. I get handicapped people. I get it. I really do. And apparently, America has $1.6 trillion in federal loans for college. But here's the thing: nobody forced you into those loans. Like college isn't like you're not forced to go to college; it's a choice to go to college. And as a matter of fact, I think it's a terrible choice that most people shouldn't even be making. I would recommend something like a trade school, coding school, or dropping out and starting your own business school, right? Like just do your own thing. So to me, it's like, all right, you willingly entered this contract where you take on this gigantic loan, and then there's a bunch of us like me who's fully paid it back. I paid my loans back entirely. I know a lot of you probably have paid it off entirely. And now, if Joe Biden dismisses all of the loans, it's like, well, then I should not have paid it off. I should have just wait for it. I'm switching cameras, guys. I'm switching cameras. Come on. It's not going to work. Come on. Okay, we're back. So the thing is like I paid for my college. I paid my bills off, and now I'm debt free from my federal loan. So like I should have just not done that, and then he could have forgiven it, and I could have taken all those tens of thousands of dollars, and like what's going to happen to us? Are we going to get a check back for what we paid off? So it's bullshit. So anyway, I'm against student loan forgiveness. I will accept reducing the interest. I think that is action that we should consider. So, for example, some people, if they take out $100,000 and they're getting hit with some huge APR, that $100,000 can end up becoming like $250,000 by the time it's paid off. That to me is bullshit. Like come on, that's too much. You can't borrow 100 and then pay back 250K. I understand it's terms of the loans, but that's predatory in my opinion. However, if I borrowed 100 and I had to pay back 110, 120, it's like that's reasonable. That's reasonable, But the problem is a lot of times these interest rates are hurting people and makes them unable to pay off their original loan. So anyway, the Republicans here are standing against it. Thank God they're inside of logic here. They say because it'll raise taxes by $13,000 per person and make inflation worse. And 65% of us don't even have a college degree. So why are we going to be paying for your college degree when you're majoring in bullshit liberal arts or something like that? By the way, I went to liberal arts college the first time. So hold on, make sure everything's good. So anyway, yeah, I hope that they don't do this. I understand canceling some of the interest payments. That's fine, but that's much different than canceling all of your student loans. So Joe Biden, if you do that, you're basically buying votes. We all know this, man. Come on. Think about this. So I got this friend named Nikki. Nikki is a young 19-year-old. Maybe she's 20 now. I don't know. But she's a chica guapa. Very chica guapa, guys. She is a very attractive woman. And anyway, she told me she voted for Joe Biden. And a couple of months ago, she messaged me on Instagram and said, I just want to let you know that I regret what I did to the country and I'm on the Trump train. I said, wow, really? What changed? She goes, well, Joe Biden lied to me about student loan forgiveness. He promised he was going to forgive my student loan, and then he didn't. And then he said he'd forgive 50K, and then he didn't. So the bottom line is people did vote for Joe Biden based on his promises of student loan forgiveness. it does work buying votes, and that's what the Democrats do. They buy votes, they promise money in exchange for votes. It's really disgusting. Whereas Republicans, their values are more like let's teach somebody to fish than just give you the fish. But hey, this is why the Democrats are very, very, very smart people. And speaking of Democrats, the left wing, there's a left wing group. I think their name is like Crew or something. Yeah, Crew, Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington. They sent Tim Cook a 4-page letter urging the American tech executive to nuke former President Trump's new platform Truth from its digital marketplace, despite no violations of company guidelines. And check out what they write, guys. These freaking clowns. The events of January 6th, 2021, the insurrection, highlighted not only democracy's vulnerabilities, but also the risks associated with the current ecosystem of online speech. Every company that now enters into business with Trump must recognize that it is essentially endorsing this dangerous and anti-democratic conduct. Unchecked threats to reliable information imperil our civic institutions, social stability, and democratic norms, implying that inadequate censorship of dissident ideas is a threat to democracy. And it's exactly what Obama did, and this is why the White House is thinking of creating that Disinformation Governance Board. This is literally 1984 coming to life, where they're going to tell you what you can think and what you can't think. What is it called? Like the Truth Committee or something like that from the book, something crazy like that. I don't know. William Maximus, have a good night, sleep well, rest well, dream of me, and when you dream of me, think very, very kind thoughts. Cody says, I'm sick of the misinformation, disinformation, and hate speech argument of you can't handle speech, go cry in the corner with a mask on and don't talk to adults then. Yeah, I think it's all BS. They want to, we're supposed to be a country of free speech. And a big part of free speech, the ability to be offensive and the ability to be wrong. That's just part of free speech. Like, that's the thing. And so when you come out and be like, there's no threat to our democracy. No, your censorship is a threat to our democracy. My offensive tweets or my incorrect tweets are not a threat to democracy. That's actually what makes democracy thrive, a forum of ideas, and may the best ones prevail. That's literally what democracy is supposed to be. So these people got it backwards. These freaking clowns. They're just so scared. I love watching it. They're so scared. And here's some good news. Two more pieces of article I have for you guys tonight. This one is Democrats are slipping among black voters too. Oh, ooh la la! This is so nice to hear. Let me pull in the article. Here we go. There we go. It's not just Latino and young voters. Democrats are slipping among black voters too. I love to see it. You love to see it. Now I'm going to pull in my TikTok right now for a second, guys. Some shameless self-promotion for you. Give me 1 second over here. TikTok.com/@AdamFrancisco2. You guys are not following me on TikTok? What are you doing with your lives? You need to be getting on TikTok, the spy app, and give China all of your data just so you can follow me. So this video, guys, this is my second million view video on TikTok. That's right. My last million view video was the super hot black chick in Miami. That video hit 2 million views on my original account, and then TikTok nuked my account. But this one is on the cusp of hitting 1 million views. It's trending again. These two wonderful black gentlemen. Here we go. Let's check out what they have to say for themselves.
Trump get back on Twitter?
Hell yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think? Because right now Trump's not allowed on Twitter. Should Elon Musk get Trump back?
Man, well, Donald Trump funny, man. I fuck with Trump. I ain't got no problem with Trump.
Hell yeah.
Trump.
God bless you guys.
I fuck with Trump. So, as you guys could see, black Americans in America are waking the F up. And it's just like the Latino voters. It's just like the young voters in America. Everybody is waking up in this country now. And I think, personally, that they're screwed. I think the Democrats are screwed and they know it. So we'll see what happens this midterm election. I'm expecting a red wave, a red tsunami. But you never know with the Democrats what they can pull off. Let's just leave it at that. And then the final news article today that I pulled up for you guys is about my beautiful state of Florida, the greatest state in the country. Sorry to all you haters out there who might disagree with me, but Florida is now the least affordable place to live in the U.S. We have become the most desirable, which is crazy. And I know Pete Farr here is on the stream watching right now. I think Pete Farr is still here. But they've had his city of Tampa has had some of the fastest growth in the country. And almost 36,000 new people, I think, have moved in this year. So Tampa's going crazy around. I think he told me his rent went shot up like $150. Pete Farr says, I don't know why you still get your news from CNN, bro. Let me tell you something, bro. All right, bro. Check this out. I used to be a liberal, as you know, so I used to only watch CNN. I used to love CNN. Like, seriously, that's where I used to always go. Now, fast forward to today, I still admire CNN's production quality. I still do like their production quality in terms of editing and formatting and all that stuff. So I got to give credit where credit's due. CNN has a very good editing production team. However, as I always tell people, I need to be aware of what liberals are thinking, especially this stupid camera today. My camera don't like me. My camera doesn't like me today, guys. It's overheating. So anyway, we need to be aware of what the liberals are thinking and what liberals are absorbing. So the best way for us to do that is to watch the Young Turks, CNN, MSNBC, ABC. So that way we have all of their information. I do watch Joy Behar, but I only watch the clips online when she says something really stupid. But again, I need to know what liberals are being served up so I can combat it with my sources. So that's the thing, though. I use it to weaponize it back at them when I'm on the street talking to people, knowing that most of them are CNN viewers. So I stand by watching CNN, but as you can see, I also use Gateway Pundit. I use Patriots.win, Conspiracies.win. I use a bunch of right wing and left wing sources, and that's what you got to do. Because I'll be honest, if all you do is watch Fox News or The Blaze or Daily Wire, you too are going to have a skewed view of the world. I do think that right wing is more accurate to the truth. That is my opinion. I do think Fox News is closer to the truth than CNN is. However, I still need to know the other side's worldview because that information gives us power on the street. Like, remember, there was a time I was in St. Augustine, and I'll pull that clip in because I think it's very powerful, and it shows the damage of living in an echo chamber really, really clearly. So, as you guys all know on this stream, Donald Trump passed one of the greatest. Why is shit not working? Oh, I wrote ticktick.com. Huh. Donald Trump passed one of the greatest pieces of legislation called the First Step Act, which decriminalized non-violent drug offenses and helped mostly men, get out of prison early or reduce their sentences. And the majority of those men who had reduced sentences were black men. So it was a great piece of legislation. So here's the thing: like when I talk to these liberals on the street, and I bring up some of these acts Trump passed, a lot of them don't know what I'm talking about. They think I'm lying. So here's a perfect example of it. Okay, it's loading right now. I don't know why it's taking so long. Let's refresh the screen. Where's my audio? Play. I don't know why my audio's not coming through. But anyway, I could just give you the ad libs, a voiceover. So this dude here. Oh, did I mute it? There we go. Here we go.
I'm very glad. Name one policy that he's done that you're proud of. Can I get one policy that he's passed that you like? Tell me one that Trump passed. First Step Act. What's that? Decriminalize non-violent drug offenses, which helps.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying, guys? Let's review that one more time. Watch how fast I freaking answer this guy. Let's see if I can even count to 1 second. Ready? Here we go.
I'm very glad. Name one policy that he's done that you're proud of. Can I get one policy that he's passed that you like? Tell me one that Trump passed.
I couldn't even say 1 second, guys. I was that fast on the trigger.
Which helped 91% of black men get out of jail early.
You see how he reacted? And there it is. 91% of inmates free by the first step are black. Should we give public? So you see that guy reacted? He just turns around, walks away, waves his hand. Did you catch that? Let's watch one more time.
Can I get one policy that he's passed that you like? Tell me one that Trump passed. First Step Act. What's that? Decriminalize non-violent drug offenses, which helped 91% of black men get out of jail early.
So he comes up to me, this guy, asked me to give him a policy. I give him one in less than 1 second. He waves me off and he storms away. So here's the thing though, like because he doesn't watch Fox News, because he doesn't read right wing sources, he's never heard of the First Step Act. And as a matter of fact, I think every month of April it's called it started in 2018. I think it's called Second Chance Month. And this is the month where Trump pardoned criminals for nonviolent drug offenses. And Joe Biden said that he's going to be continuing that tradition this year. And I think he just pardoned like 50 people or something. So that was all done by Donald Trump, the Second Chance Month. But a lot of you guys haven't heard of that. I didn't even hear that until recently, but I did know about the First Step Act. So that's the problem is when you only watch one side of the news spectrum, you won't hear everything. So Pete, I highly encourage you to watch CNN as much as possible. You know. Okay, let's read some comments here. Cody says, I can't do it. Just going on Reddit and Twitter makes me want to jump through my phone and choke some of these idiots out. They literally bully anyone and dislike bomb whoever isn't a sheep. It's true. I have anger issues. I'm well aware. I should have known guns, but don't plan to use them. But if the day comes I do use it, I'll probably have no remorse. I'm pretty demented, guys. Hey, just whatever you do, always be thoughtful. And nothing is really worth taking someone's life. That's just the reality. The only time that I think that it's reasonable is self-defense. So if you are in a fight and you're a true fear of your life and risk of death, then the best person win in that situation. May the best man win. But other than that, road rage, anger, there's no need to take it to the violence levels. I have a car down here in Florida and I have Trump 2024 in my back window. And so I have to be aware that already people are already pissed at me, some of them out here. So, I keep my guard up and it is what it is. Noah says, I had 2 lists to lefty news, not lefty emotions, because there is a difference. I don't use much of any emotion when researching. Yeah, that's why I could do what I do. I don't get triggered by these people. Just like, whatever. Trump facilitated the U.S. to become energy independent for the first time since 1957, lowering all fuel prices and creating many new energy jobs. That's right, Blaze Bob. Hell yeah. Yeah, he did. Trump brought home U.S. troops and brought peace in the Middle East. Yep, they said it couldn't be done. Trump created the strongest U.S. economy in history. And before COVID, had the economy back to just 7% unemployment. That's right. And no matter what the Democrats say now, we're nowhere near close to being back to where we were before COVID. I don't care what they say. Just go out of the street and just take a look with your own eyes. Even the neighborhood Walmart by me here, it used to be 24 hours. Not anymore. They sliced the hours. It's crazy. Well, anyway, guys, that is going to wrap it up today. I hope you enjoyed today's show where we have learned that shadow banning is a real life thing. We have learned that the Democrats are not going to give free speech up this easily. They're going to do whatever they can to hold on to the censorship and the 1984 world that they've created for us, which is terrifyingly scary. Elon Musk continues to do amazing things. I'm still going to be on his side right now. I haven't seen anything that's going to make me not be on Elon Musk's side. I wish he could run for president. I'd probably vote for him, not over Trump, but I'd still vote for Elon Musk if he was eligible to run. Let's see. No dating app search. No dating app search today. It's without Tara here. It's been proven to be a pain in my ass to incorporate my screen onto my phone. There's too many glitches. I'm going to be going to Mexico next month, and I might stay for 2 or 3 months in the Puerto Vallarta Sayulita region because that's been my favorite part of Mexico so far. And after that, I will probably come back, fight for the midterms. I'll do some remote interviews while I'm in Mexico. We'll keep the TNA show alive. I'll keep doing these things daily for you guys from the beaches. Hopefully my audience continues to grow at that point so I can live off of the super chats and, the donations. That'll be really awesome. And then after that, come back for the midterms and then bounce to the Philippines if it's open to non-vaccinated, or I'm going to go to Vietnam, which is already open to the non-vaccinated. The only problem is Vietnam, not that dog friendly. And as a matter of fact, I had a hard time with my dogs in Vietnam. Bringing them to the gym was not easy. Let me just tell you that. It's not easy to bring my dogs places in Vietnam. In Thailand, they didn't really give a shit, people, like the businesses. It was just kind of like whatever. I'd bring my dogs to all the restaurants, especially like on the beaches. But Vietnam is not like that. They're for some reason really not into that stuff. Cody says, any happy endings? Any happy ending massage? Can I even talk about this on YouTube? The answer is, of course not, Cody. I'm a gentleman. I'm a man of honor. And I believe that any man that engages in that kind of stuff is just not respecting himself. Forget the ladies. He's not respecting himself. That's how I feel about that, guys. I would never get in. I would never get involved in that, guys, ever. That's not for me, Cody. Nope, no way. I don't go to Thailand for the women, not at all. It's not one of my motivations. And actually, when I go to Thailand, I'm an incel the entire time. I'm involuntarily celibate. Actually, I'm voluntarily celibate, so I'm a vocel. Is that a thing? But when I'm in Thailand, I never have sex ever. I just keep to myself. I don't even drink. I just keep to myself and I read poetry all day long underneath the palm trees. So you're asking the wrong guy. But if you want the real answer, hit me up on Instagram and we'll chat about it. I'm not putting that shit on my YouTube channel. All right, guys. Thank you for watching today. I really appreciate all of you. I'm going to give you guys the long outro, so it's 1 minute and 46 seconds. I hope you guys like my improved sound quality. I invested $150 into this mic for you guys so that we can have a better sounding show. Anyway, guys, I'll be back online tomorrow. I'm going to be going to a flag waving rally here in Florida. There's some kind of rally that's happening here. I don't know what it is about, but I'll be limping there tomorrow. I'm excited to wave some flags, create some content, and I'll do a live stream on the iPhone tomorrow, so you guys can see it. Let me tell you what time it is. Hold on. Tomorrow. I know it's tomorrow at some point. Let me see. Oh, shit. I don't know who sent it to me. Oh, this is going to be a problem. I forgot who sent me the rally information. Maybe Tara did? Did Poam send it to me? Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to figure out when this rally is. No, it wasn't Tara. Yeah, who sent this shit to me? Somebody sent me a rally for tomorrow. Anyway, I got to go find out where this rally is. I don't even know who sent it to me now. I feel like I'm losing my goddamn mind. Maybe Tara Zapansky sent it. No. Okay. I don't know. Bottom line is this rally tomorrow. I'll be there. I think it's sometime in the afternoon. So you will see me tomorrow on my channel doing a live stream. And yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Be free, my sheeple.